Yo, hey folks, it's Kevin here, Big K Horror, and I've been absent for a few months or whatever, but I'm back. I want to do a review, and I got a couple reviews coming up here for some other films, but I want to do a review of Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem, alright? Boom! This is just a Fangoria magazine, because I don't have a cover or nothing like that. See, my friend got a hold, he has an all-region player, and he got a hold of the UK disc or whatnot off Amazon UK. And we watched it, and so I'm just gonna say it right now. I don't get all the hate, all flack on that movie. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's Rob Zombie's probably his best film. And yeah, I did go there. You know, no offense to his other films, because I'm a fan of all of his films pretty much. But you know, there is a ranking of best to worst in my book, and Lords of Salem does not fall in the worst part of the spectrum in my book. Okay, that's just me. I'll explain kind of why. I gotta watch the movie again, but not because I don't know my opinion, but just to catch more things again and really absorb. But man, what a fucking movie, dude. You know, like, okay, for me personally, I know a lot of people didn't like it because it was too trippy or surrealistic or just too much hodgepodge of images thrown at the screen, and that's Rob Zombie, man. You know, like, I don't know, like, that's what I expected. Maybe that's part of it, though. Like, I already read a bunch of reviews, like, everything from Dread Central, Bloody Disgusting, Shock Till You Drop, IMDb, Amazon, whatever, what have you. I read the reviews, so I already kind of knew what to expect. Maybe that had part of something to do with it. If you kind of go in knowing that this movie is going to be a slow burn Euro-style 70s horror film, kind of more classy, you know, all the notorious things that Rob Zombie's well known for, all the stylistic things he does in his films are absent as far as this, and here's the list. Okay, all of his what people describe as his white trash dialogue sect going on, that's scrapped. Like, there's not fuck this, fuck that, and then that weird Quentin Tarantino-esque kind of Rob Zombie dialogue. You know, it has a normal, fluid kind of dialogue between people. It doesn't have the shaky, you know, handheld camera grittiness, violent grittiness. I think aside from like a lot of the surrealistic stuff and the hallucinations and like the Heidi, the main character played by Sherman Zombie, like, she sees the past of what happened in the past when the witches were burned alive and stuff. Aside from that, I think you only have like 1 or 2 killings in this movie. It's not really a brutal zombie movie whatsoever, but man, it's atmospheric and fucking dreadful and even frightening. Okay, like, okay, pretty much it's about it's pretty much about, in Salem, back in the during the witch trials, there was actually a sect of witches, you know, who actually did worship the devil, and they were evil as all hell. Okay, and this had been kind of hidden apart or whatever, but this preacher, or he was a guy from that time, I believe it was John Hawthorne. He wrote a diary about it, and he had them killed and everything, and burnt alive. And they put a curse on his family line, and everything. Well, jump to now, and it's in Salem, Massachusetts, and it's like 2012, 2013, and then Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob's wife, plays Heidi Hawthorne, and she is part of the big 3H team at the rock station of Salem, Massachusetts. And she's a girl trying to work hard. She's got her own place, trying to be independent, but she's also kicking an addiction problem. And she's got support from her 2 co-hosts and friends, and even from the building's attendant. But little does she know that the building attendant, played by the awesome Judy Greason from the 70s, she's got plans of her own for Heidi, and so does her 2 other sisters, played by Patricia Quinn, I think, of Rocky Horror Picture Show, Magenta, and of course D. Wallace Stone from E.T. Cujo, the Rob Zombie Halloween remake, The Hills Have Eyes, The Howling, boom, Frighteners, all of that. Anyway, the 3 of them play a trio of modern-day witches who is just trying to bring Heidi back for her to bear the Antichrist, pretty much. And the witches are setting her up for that. And she's being haunted also by the witch that's played by, oh my god, what's her name? It's in my head. But, it'll come to me. But the actress who does play the head evil witch, man, I'm having a total brain freeze right now. But she's awesome and amazing in it. Okay, she was in, she's been in a bunch of movies. She was in The Stepfather Part 2. Father Knows Best, but she was in Stepfather Part 2 as the mother in that. She was in John Carpenter's They Live. She's got the bright blue eyes. God, what's her name? I can't think of it. But anyway, enough of that. She plays the head witch from the old ages who's now haunting Heidi. And man, I mean, the movie's very surrealistic. It's got a lot of like hallucinogen stuff going on, a lot of dream stuff, and as the curse and stuff is being placed upon her, and she's falling for it. And like, and no joke, the last 10 minutes of the movie is seriously just a clip, like a rapid fire Rob Zombie video clip, clips of just a bunch of random satanic images, a flower child psychedelic shit, like just weird. But you know what? I understood it. I got it. I was on the ride and thrill for it, you know, and it was really exactly the movie I wanted to see. There's not movies like this made much now these days, and you know, it was something nice to see. You know, I'm sorry, Rob Zombie's done his gritty, you know, maniacal shit before with House of 1,000 Corpses, Halloween 1 and 2, you know, The Devil's Rejects. You know, he's done that all already. So I think it was cool to see him step out that box and do something much more, you know, as what's being described as Stanley, like if Ken Russell, you know, directed The Lair of the White Worm, Gothic and all that, and man, I can't even think. But yeah, if Ken Russell directed The Shining, you know, it'd be kind of something like that. Oh yeah, he also did Devil's Reign. But no, it's very like, if you're a fan of you know, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, Rosemary's Baby, The Sentinel, The House of the Devil. I'm going to throw Insidious in there due to some scenes that kind of remind me of Insidious, where like just in passing you see the ghost of someone standing in the corner or something kind of creepy shit like that. You know, things like that. It also had, it just, man, just to say, oh, and the witches in the movie were fucking creepy as hell too, man. These are not no fucking pretty day modern day witches. You know, everything nowadays is modernized with either every slasher killer being amped up like a fucking NFL player on steroids with all muscles, or it's a female killer that looks all hot and smossy. Nah, fuck that. No, these witches are like age-old witches who are naked, saggy titties, like just old, and they let you see them naked, but they're just evil and they cackle and they're there and they do some things in the movie during their rituals that really were unpleasant and made me uncomfortable as a viewer. That were very menacing. There's one part involving what they think they were giving the birth to the Antichrist and actually were trying to be a normal baby. And what they just it really got under my skin what the actress did. And I'm not gonna say she didn't kill on screen, but she does something very menacing to that baby, and that got into my skin. So Rob Zombie did good on that, and he made this witch very scary, man. There was no joke about that. You know, this is not Hermione from Harry Potter, or this is not gonna be, you know, this is the real deal. These bitches are scary, okay? And I really liked. I thought Sherry Moon Zombie carried the film fine on her shoulders. You know, there was no. You know, it could have went real bad, but for me, it didn't really go bad. I mean, she's not, you know, yeah, she's not no Oscar-winning actress, but what she was given with, she did well. And it was great to see some of these, you know, other old-school actresses still into these modern-day parts. The locales of the locations shot in Salem were fucking amazing. And like I said, there was some real blasphemous stuff in this movie that I really liked. And again, if you're a fan of, like, satanic cinema, especially the 70s shit, man, you gotta check it out. And, you know, going in and now looking at like Rob Zombie, because I guarantee if Rob Zombie's name wasn't attached to it, people would probably fucking love it. But even with Rob Zombie's name attached to it, I think it's awesome. Hold. Okay. Okay, so another thing. There's a lot of surrealistic sequences in this film. They're very Fulci-esque. So if you're a fan of Fulci, go see this movie and give it a fucking chance, man. It's badass. Like, if you like, seriously, if you're a fan of Italian horror cinema, or even just like Euro cinema from the 70s and the slow burn stuff, and just wild, bizarre images that kind of creep up on you and stuff, and jolting things, like you'll dig it. It stayed with me for a while in my head. You know, I'm not saying it was like incredibly scary, but there's parts that made my heart race. And I mean, granted, I do have anxiety disorder and stuff like that, but movies really don't make my heart race, especially modern day horror films. This movie did, because I didn't know what to expect. Except that I did read, I know what to expect from all the reviews, but there's still parts I didn't know how they were going to connect or how they were going to finish off and resolve. So I was anxious of the movie. And Rob Zombie did a good job, man. You know, it's very unfortunate movies like Evil Dead remake. And I'm not going to bash Evil Dead remake. It was alright. Overhyped, maybe. You you know, yeah, gore's great and all, but you know, you gotta have some balance to it and stuff. And Evil Dead kind of didn't live up to what I was hoping. However, Lords of Salem, in another movie I'm gonna review here in a while, that's not really hard. It's kind of hard to find, not available anywhere. Turned out to be the two hardest movies to find so far of 2013 around here, because Lords of Salem did not open everywhere at all, especially down in this Florida region in the South. But two films that are hard to find right now turn out to be the best films so far of 2013. Who knew? But that's how it goes. But yeah, so Lords of Salem to me ranked higher than Evil Dead. It was much more imaginative. It was like a awesome satanic fever dream to watch, and I'm a fan. I will be buying it when it comes out officially, and I think so far it's I mean, it's hard to say if it's my favorite. It is my. I think it's right now. It's my favorite zombie film outside Devil's Rejects, and then like, you know, whatever. But and then Devil's, you know, House Thousand Corpses, and then his, you know, Halloween's or whatever. But I like his original work better. I think he works best as an original artist. And I think this film really delivered on that. And it, like I said, it was about time Rob Zombie kind of hung up some of his shoes on this old styles and kind of pursued something new. And he did exactly that. And you know, for a lot of the fans that bash it the way they do, I mean, I can understand if you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie. But man, come on. There's not much shit out there like this nowadays. Think about it. It was not Hollywood at all. And I give him mad props for that. So, anyway, another thing great about Lords of Salem, John Five's score to the film was fucking amazing and epic, alright? And he's the guitarist previously for Marilyn Manson for about 3 albums of Mechanical Animals, Hollywood, and the Golden Age Grotesque, before then he went and joined Rob Zombie. And he's been working with Rob Zombie since throughout the 2000s, and he did a good score for the movie. It was menacing, it was great. The whole movie just was great. It was a great supernatural story he did, and like I said, the Satan worshipping, devil worshipping shit was great. Very, you know, very hallucinogenic, very trippy. And again, when go and see it, don't expect like a natural, realistic resolve for the movie. I mean, we are talking about a girl being, you know, cursed to have the birth of the Antichrist. Okay. It's going to be a kind of fucking wicked movie, man. Kind of trippy even, you know? And it was a good one. And I just give it a chance. If you enjoy Fulci, if you enjoy like Euro horror from the 70s, 80s, dig it, okay? Just sit back, drink some wine or something. I don't know. Do what you got to do, but give it a chance. It really was not all that bad as people made it out to be. I kid you not. I'm sorry. I've been still trying to watch Mama, and boring. Anyway, so yeah, Lords of Salem it is. It rocks. Enough said. Peace.